everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Unapologetic Sports. It's your favorite uncle in the building, Lee Ice. And you know I got my partner in crime. It's the Fly Guy, y'all. Flying Brian. What's going on, man?
What's up, Lee Ice?
The weather got hot again, man.
Yeah.
We had a couple nice days, and now this humidity and that mugginess is back. I don't like it. You gotta stay inside, man.
Everything good with you?
Everything good. This is what they call the long days of summer, something like that. You know what we counting down to.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we'll get into all this stuff, and the biggest thing I guess right now in sports is what just happened like a few minutes ago. We'll talk about it with Brian with a Y, but it's officially football season though. Everything everybody's talking about right now is the NFL Top 100, ESPN's releasing rankings. We're going to talk about all that. So now we can talk about football, and it's not really reaching. It's what to talk about now. So
it's what it's talking about. Yeah. What is it? I guess we got about 3 weeks for the first preseason game.
Yeah, I think in 2 weeks would be like the official training camp or whatever, and then the first preseason game is the 5th, I think, August 5th.
You had it up last year. I think it was.
Yeah, it's the Hall of Fame game.
The Hall of Fame game. Everybody couldn't wait, and then after the first quarter, everybody's like, "Oh, it's turn."
I know. I don't. Yeah, I'll put it on, but it's just the fact. It's just the fact that it's here. Like football's officially started.
Right. You watch like the first quarter, and then it's like, they put the players in that you don't know. Nobody's going to make the team, and then you wait for your team's first game. Yeah. So,
I always reference
they play 3 games right now, or is it 2?
It's just 3 now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that 4th one was horrible. So
I always reference the ESPN app, and I don't know if you use it, but if you use it, you can set it up where you can have your favorite teams, and when your favorite team is going to play, it'll be on the side like a little preview. So football has been non-existent. I think like 2 days ago, the Bills, Commanders, and Rams, because I have them all listed, all their games are popped up. So that means ESPN can't wait.
I think I do have it. I got something on there where it always show the Commanders. So
yeah, because it'll ask you what teams you want to follow, and I have all the local teams, and yeah.
All right, man. Let's thank everybody for tuning to last week's show, and thank everybody for tuning this week's show. Like your favorite uncle always say, I hope we can entertain y'all during what you're going through in these hot days of summer. Rough day at work. Come chill with us. You're not getting along with your significant other. Come chill with us. Your pets, your dog, cat, goldfish, Tweety bird, whatever, ladybug, whatever. Come chill with us for like an hour and maybe 15 minutes tops. Sometimes we go over. It depends on how heated we get. But for an hour and 15 minutes, I promise you would like what we have to offer. Fly Guy, you ready to get things started?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Look, I got the commanders coming. All right, what we starting off with?
All right, so no bits today, no funny things. There's a few things going on to talk about. I'll just open this real quick because it's my thing, and if I know I hyped it, I did a show on Friday hyping it with Midnight Rider, and it was a complete, as main events goes, a complete disaster. So, so Conor McGregor ran across the cage, jumped in the air, threw a kick, and blew his knee out, or whatever the injury was. He hopped back up, threw another kick, fell back down. He clearly was hurt, and the guy who was fighting told the ref, he's clearly, and they just called it. And that was it. And that was the big fight. He hadn't fought in 5 years, was coming off another leg injury that had nothing to do with this leg injury, and it was not good. Now, it's not on pay-per-view anymore, so it's not really that, as far now they did make 20 they did have a $25 million gate. So though everybody in the audience must have been pissed. The co-main event was very good. The card itself was good, but if you're watching a Tyson fight, you want to see Mike Tyson. So
Yeah, I mean, you didn't mind if a Tyson fight ended early because somebody was going to get knocked out.
but that was one
In
of
the
the reasons you were
beginning.
buying it. Yeah, that was one of the
Yeah.
reasons you were buying it.
In the beginning, he was knocking them out. At the end, he was getting knocked out. So, but this is, it was legit. You think that the injury was legit?
Yeah, the injury was definitely legit. The big question is whether or not he knew he was injured before he came in the cage. And there's all everybody's going back and microscope and everything, and oh, he walked funny when he took his shoes off. I don't know, but yeah, he clearly injured himself. Yeah, you could just see it when the way he landed, it popped. Whether or not it was already beat up or whatever,
How
and
much did he
people.
get for this? How much did he make?
I mean, there's no official, but I've seen 30 million.
30 million for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a good payout.
Yeah, and he's already come out and said he wants to still come back. I mean, I don't know if there's, a market for it or not. I mean, we'll see. But I mean, again, I love UFC. I don't watch it necessarily because of individual fighters, but when those certain fighters fight, it's a big deal. Even in any sport or football, you follow a team, you follow a team. But if that team's going to play Patrick Mahomes or play Josh Allen you get more excited. So when Connor fights, it's a little more to it. So, and he's one of the biggest guys still around. So, but what are you gonna do?
So you think he's coming back?
Uh, yeah. I mean, if they're willing to pay him, sure. I don't know if the UFC be willing to pay him or not. I don't know, and I don't know who you put him against either. I mean, this was kind of a fight that kind of worked out timing wise, and they had a story built in because they had fought before. But I mean, again, he hasn't fought in 5 years, and he technically hasn't won a fight in like 7 or 8. So who the hell is he supposed to fight?
How much did the other guy get?
I think 3 million, which sounds like nothing, but in UFC, that's a lot for
Yeah,
a straight up
that's all.
payday. Yeah.
I mean, he got 3 million for doing
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. You can't get no better than that.
All right, so we're gonna have yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said set up a rematch. It never happened.
Well,
Another.
Connor is going to be gone a year, and this guy's technically in title contention.
Oh, okay.
If he wants to sit out for the paycheck, sure, but he also can either get a shot or fight a guy to get a title shot. So I don't know. It's kind of a mess with it, but all right. So we're gonna have Brian with a Y on at 7, kind of wrap up the World Cup. Obviously, a game just ended. I won't even really get into that right now. We'll just let him talk about it. But
Okay.
I will. I have the preview. So France is taking on Spain. It actually came on at 3. It's already over. I'm sure people watching already know the what happened. I said we'll let him cover it all, and then tomorrow is England versus Argentina, and then what the final games are the 19th, right? I think that's what.
I wonder who they want to win that game.
Well, yeah. So yeah, so we'll cover all that. We talked about it's going to be a heavy centric football. There's going to be a heavy centric football show and network. Until January, February. You got your LeBron feelings, and I don't feel as strongly against this guy as you do LeBron, but I got a lot of feelings with this guy because I live in the area, and he's
Who?
in my
Lamar?
face. Yeah, and he's in my face all the time, and his ranking in the NFL top 100 is out. So just in case anybody doesn't know, every year the players do a vote of who they think the best players are. They tally it up. They release it every year. It's usually on
Where
NFL
is he
Network.
ranked?
It's usually on NFL Network. This time it's on Twitter or whatever. And his ranking is 69. Now, I will say right off the top, that's pretty low. I mean, he was 2 last year, coming off a season where people thought he should have won the MVP. Allen got it, whatever. He was 2, Allen was 4. But if you look at all the numbers, he statistically one of his worst seasons of his career. He was hurt on and off a lot. They had a losing record. They didn't make the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying he should be 69, but obviously he was going to fall. This list is also done by players, and it's also mostly based on last season, not necessarily all together, but it's more, it's not, he's a two-time MVP, but it has nothing to do with that. Pretty much. It's more or less based on last season or
Yeah,
where
and
they're projected they think they're going to be on from this point to now. So maybe they think he's lost a step of stuff. I don't know.
it's
There's a,
based off of last season, like you
yeah,
said, going into this season. Right now, you, I mean, Baltimore fans are upset. He doesn't deserve to be in a top 10. He didn't have a top 10 season
no,
last year.
not this year. Of course
You
not. You know,
know,
guys like Drake May and obviously Josh Allen, Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, you know, arguably could be number one. He's the MVP. And then even somebody like a Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't been on the list yet, so he probably will be, had a much better season last year,
yeah.
and
I
also
mean,
showed where he might be going this way in his career, where there could be signs where Lamar might have hit his peak and might be starting to go down. Injuries are adding up. He's not the biggest guy in the world. You know, he takes hits and stuff. Same thing with Mahomes. This might be the first year Mahomes is out of the top 10 or 20. Mahomes has had a bad year last year. He's coming off a catastrophic injury, and he probably won't have the seasons that he's had in the past. Now, with Josh Allen, I know everybody last game, the Broncos game, had the four turnovers. I get all that. But as far as regular season goes, his production hasn't fallen. He had just as good as years last year as he has the last 3 or 4 years. He was MVP 2 years ago, and on paper, he got the best receiver he's had since Stephon Diggs. So you just assume he's going to have a good season, or if not better. So you know, I get Lamar has got a lot of accolades, but he had a bad season. He did. Again, I think 69 is really low, but if he was 30, they still would be pissed. So
yeah, that still be. I mean, Raven fans are almost. Well, you know, you live in the area. They irritating as almost as much as Cowboy fans. So, but I mean, it's not a career ranking. People got to realize that that's not a career ranking. That's just like
right,
like I said, that's based off of last year,
more
twenty
yeah,
twenty five.
more or less yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
speak. So
I
let's
mean,
that's a good.
68 players had better seasons than him. That's what it
That,
boils down to.
and then what really matters is what quarterbacks come on after him. Like, I'll just say this, you know, right off the bat, because your boy Jaden Daniels hasn't been on the list yet, and I'm not saying he
He
shouldn't make
probably
the one.
won't. He probably won't.
I mean, he maybe should have made. Well, the problem is Bryce Young was 98. That means he made the 100. I don't care how good his season was. I still would put certain quarterbacks above him. But yeah, but
I
Jaden was
mean,
hurt and didn't have a great year. So, but there are certain quarterbacks that shouldn't be above Lamar, and we'll see where they fall.
I mean, if
But
JD5's not on there, I get it. He didn't
because
have
he
a
was,
good
yeah.
year last year. He was hurt. He don't. I'm not saying he deserves to be on there. You know.
Right, Sarah's MK says, "Good evening, fellas. This is my uh, this is my uncle who used to be a Cowboys fan, but is not anymore." He says,
He's not a
"Cowboys
cow.
fan."
He's a former Cowboy fan.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't really like football anymore. Just the whole other side of football, political and all
Right.
that stuff is kind of why he got out of it. But like he was a big time Cowboys fan, 80s, 90s, and all the way leading up to. It's more of a he's still a Cowboys fan, but he's just not a big football fan like he used to be.
Oh,
Oh,
who was that? Who was
okay.
Bob?
Yeah, see,
Matty Ice.
Showtime. See, that's the first time Sarah's commented on here, so I wasn't sure who it was. And it's on YouTube. Plus, I have a cousin named Sarah that watches, so I wasn't sure. So, thanks for watching,
Showtime.
Sarah. Yeah, don't watch. Yeah, so he said, yeah, I don't watch too much anymore. So, let's segue into that. Because you talked about how the rankings are based on last season. So they had another list come out, and this is from ESPN. ESPN posted it, and it's. But I was going to cover this
This is
anyway,
funny.
and he's top three when he do this anyway normally it's on my coaches, executives, and scouts. um you know, this list is all over the place. um
Yeah.
you know, Josh Allen's one, whatever. If he's not one, he's either two, three, four at the worst. I would be a little pissed off if he was four, but I get if you want to put Matt Stafford above him going into the next season because he's MVP, that's fine. I will argue Drake May only because, you know, I know he was second in MVP voting. We can have a whole show about Drake May and how I truly feel about, you know, what his projection is. I wouldn't want him above. And then you can't really do Patrick Mahomes right now because, again, he's had 2 or 3 bad statistical seasons for Patrick Mahomes, and he's coming off a massive injury. So I don't necessarily disagree, or I understand why Allen is considered to be number one. But I don't think Dak at 6. I don't know. That's too high. Probably too high.
My
Herbert.
guy is definitely better than 10 and 8. Okay, he's definitely. I would say shit from 7 to 10, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, I'm putting my guy above all of them. I'm gonna put him above Dak because Dak don't win, so he don't win nothing significant. His numbers look great, you know. Yeah, I'm putting my guy 6 on here. The thing on here that's not shown, and I know you're not Jalen Hurts fan, and I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan either, but they had him 17.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, I
That
would
is,
put him borderline. I mean, 10, 11, 12. You can kind of
he's got to
anywhere around
be in the
there.
top
Yeah.
10 just out of respect. I mean, the guy went to 2 Super Bowls, won one. Let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the 10 hasn't won the Super Bowl. One Super Bowl on here. You know. Not
Yeah,
saying just out of respect, put that man in. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts fan, but damn, put him in the top 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl should get you a top 10. And he's been in the playoffs every year. I can't believe I'm defending Jalen Hurts. God, what's wrong?
Well, he should be
What's wrong with
17.
me? But
Yeah.
yeah, nah.
All right, so we're gonna have actually we are just flying by on time. So we're gonna do in the meat of the show just more football stuff. We got a few different lists and a few different things to talk about. We got the greatest linebackers of all time list. We're gonna do like the list we've been doing with basketball. We got a specific thing for you and Commanders, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys fans to talk about, and then we can always go back to this and stuff. But we got 10 minutes where we got
we got to come back to that. We
yeah,
got to
of
get
course we will. But I wanted
get
to
a
put this
panel
on
for this
because
one.
one of these guys might be flying high, so I want to make sure everybody knew before I got to that.
Yeah, we need the boys to come on and talk with us about that one.
Yeah, and we'll do that. But I mean that just came out I think yesterday, so it was good. So we actually got a lot of comments. Hey, we're talking football numbers, biggest numbers we've had in months. So probably since the goat show.
The GOAT.
All right, so we got Mama Sweeney. JD will be in top 5 before half the season's over.
Yes, Mama Sweeney. You know it. Yes.
Josh, I'm putting my guy 6. LOL, man, come on now. We would get into
We ain't
that.
talking about Faker Mayfield.
I agree. No, I think he was mocking you for saying you put your guy 6th.
Well, he deserved to be 6. Better than shit.
I agree. Hurt should be top 10. Yeah, I mean right around that area. And then we got Matty Ice. Seems some of you seems some are here based on the past, Mahomes and Dak, while others are getting the benefit of just 1 year. Yeah, it's a little bit again for guys like Drake May and Caleb Williams. You're kind of judging them based on what they did most recently, and also based on what you think they're going to do. Guys like Mahomes and Allen, and even Burrow and Lamar are going to get ranked based on what they've done and what they've achieved already, and also kind of what you think they're going to do from now on. Look, I get Mahomes is the best quarterback since Tom Brady. I get all that. But the last couple years, he's not been the best quarterback in the league. He just hasn't. And you could argue who that is. You can say it's been Matt Stafford. You could say it's been Lamar Jackson. You could say it's been Josh Allen. And you could say that it could be Drake May now. It could be Jaden Daniels. It could be Caleb Williams coming up in the next few years. But,
But in the
these
last
lists.
2 years, he still has a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, no, he does. And we can get in a whole argument of obviously winning Super Bowl is important and all that.
Because right now with Mahomes, I don't even think it's the seasons he's at. It's how many Super Bowls he's going to get to. He's to the point with how many Super Bowls he's going to get to.
All right, so we got a whole lot of comments. Okay, so Midnight Rider, why does Burrow get so much love?
He's Joe Cool.
Yeah, I mean and he's the only guy in the AFC to beat Mahomes in the playoffs that's still in the league. and he still gets that. And Josh Allen rode the 13-second game that he lost to Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen rode that all the way until he finally won the MVP, where you can say, well, no, Josh Allen won the MVP. But Burrow has not been in the playoffs. And
How is Caleb in the top 10 already?
Caleb's almost in for that one play. I mean,
I like him. I mean, he I'm not gonna lie, he's turned me into a fan, but he's not better than JD5.
Sarah Burrow is good, but Cincy is bad. All right, so we got our old buddy Anthony. All right,
Anthony's back.
Question. Okay, so when it comes to the greatest linebacker or list, are you separated by middle linebackers, linebacker? What? Okay. So yeah, we'll get into that. So that's in the meat. So it's not separated. So it's if you've watched this recently, Anthony, we've been doing basketball list of point guards, shooting guards, and this is a linebacker list, and it's all three, and it's 10 linebackers, and then 3 that didn't make it, and it covers all the errors and all the stuff. So that's how that's what we're gonna do that, and then
so come back, Anthony. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so we'll do that probably about 7:15.
I got a very interesting take on that.
Okay, and then so I think we covered all that. All right, so my flying high is
gonna be too happy.
So my flying high is actually pretty quick. So let's get to that.
Yeah, mine is.
I got a fancy new graphic for it.
Oh wow, what is that? A field? A football field?
It's a football field. And then there's a basketball hoop also. I just type words and then I create and things get created and then yeah. All right, so for the first time I actually made a graphic for my flying high, so we'll knock them both out. So I got 2 flying high. Obviously, the number 1 quarterback in all of football, Josh Allen, is flying high, and Jordan Walker, 2026, the T-Mobile Home Run Derby champion. Now it was on during Raw, so I did not actually watch the Home Run Derby. Mr. Baseball, my dad, Mr. Baseball, who was at my house watching Raw. I went to put the Home Run Derby on. He said, I'm here to watch wrestling. I said, all right, no problem. I don't want to watch baseball anyway. So, but did you happen to catch any of the Home Run Derby or?
I caught a little bit, yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I know it's just
my guy didn't. Well, you'll see. But that was a hell of a finish by him, though, man. He had to hit his last 6 to win it. So
is that what it was?
That was a great finish. You know, if it was somebody more known, I mean, it would be ESPN would still be talking about it right now. You know.
And then obviously Josh Allen, number 1 quarterback, had a first daughter. He's going to win a Super Bowl in a few months and everything's, and when you're Josh Allen, you're always flying high. We can't be on every week, but
going into a new stadium, I don't know.
And a new coach and a new coordinator.
And a new coach.
All right. So real quick from Sarah, watch clips of Cards fans, his fan reacting to Walker winning, and I enjoyed it for sure. All right, so Sarah checked it out. So I usually watch the Home Run Derby. I was watching Raw, so I was.
I know Sarah missed her favorite player, Aaron Judge, not being in.
Yeah, don't you feel like Aaron Judge like you do about LeBron, right? Isn't it? But it's a little different reason, I think. But all right, so Anthony, I see all your messages and they're about the linebacker, so we're gonna cover all those when we get to that. But as hot as it is outside, it's not hot in here.
We need some coldness, man. We need it. And the freezer.
All right. So who is in today?
Not much going on. I mean, we just talked about the Home Run Derby. And I gotta put my guy, my favorite baseball player in there, Bryce Harper. You go in the freezer, buddy.
I guess you didn't
get your ass off the first damn round. You at home, you got the home crowd cheering for you. And your ass couldn't even get out the first round, Bryce. Well, come on, Bryce. I'm probably the only Nationals fan that like you. So
I think my dad still has a soft spot for him.
Bryce was cool here, man. He had the swag. I love Bryce, man. But unfortunately, bro, you gotta gut your ass in the freezer.
Sarah wants to know you putting Aaron Judge in the freezer.
I can't put him in yet, Sarian. Can't put him in yet. Second, got to go with the home team, man, the Wizards. Like, big guys, why are you putting the Wizards in the freezer?
Yeah, what did I miss?
Because, man, they shutting AJ Devonta down for the rest of the summer league.
Oh, you don't like
You
that?
want to see more. You know the old Saturday night skit, I need more tambourine? Oh, no, cowbell. I need more cowbell.
Yeah.
I want more AJ, man.
He's
These
looked
two
good,
games,
though, right? Hasn't he looked good?
Huh?
He's looked good. I've seen highlights.
That's why I want to see him.
Yeah.
Us Wizards fans want to see, man. We haven't had nobody this good probably since C. Webb. Or Gil, let's see. Who can't get Gil came after C. Webb? Come on, man. It's the summertime. Play that dude. Let us see it. So the Wizards, y'all go in the freezer, shutting that man down. Everybody want to see him. When the last time the Wizards got the headline on SportsCenter?
I know. I was watching one of the sports shows I watch, and they showed the highlights of him posterizing someone. I was like, oh, shit.
Of course. And last but not least, you know I'm on this LeBron shit, so any team.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's LeBron. Hold on. Go ahead. But I got LeBron has his own. Him and Harden, they got their own. The Hall of Fame.
Any damn team that calls Rich Paul's phone and leaves a voicemail for their pitch to land LeBron, all of y'all get y'all ass in the freezer. If that's not the most narcissistic shit, you know he's making teams call his agent, Rich Paul, and they have to leave a voicemail saying why LeBron should come play for them.
And this is why LeBron gets the hate that he gets.
That's why. Come on, bro. You have to call somebody else, not you, not your phone. They don't even leave a voicemail on his phone. They got to leave a voicemail on Rich Paul's phone. And then he's out here. Have you seen him going on shows talking about, oh, he just wants to feel wanted and get the hell, man, fuck you.
Yeah,
oh my God, he gets on my nerves. And ESPN just every day where it's like, bro, come on, man. He's 40. What, he's gonna be 42 this year?
Yeah.
His game is ugly. Just he's gonna sign with my Warriors, man. And
as soon as we did our show and I talked about how it was looking like everything was done, he was going back to Cleveland, and all of a sudden we're back to where we started. Now I'm hearing Golden State. I'm hearing other teams. You said he's got to leave special voicemails on stuff.
I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. I really don't. Well, he's coming. I know he's going to go to State.
Curry's all for it.
That's it. All you teams calling Rich Paul's phone and leaving a voicemail, all y'all get in the freezer.
All right, so when we come back, we'll talk FIFA World Cup, get everything all wrapped up, talk about the game earlier today.
You still gotta think about me. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on. You still gotta think about me. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
All right, welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, Brian?
What's happening?
Brian with a Y.
Put it in. Don't leave me hanging.
Never, sir, never.
All right, so as spaced out as the World Cup has been when we've been doing these shows, a lot of stuff's happened since the last time you've been on.
It has.
So we won't be able to really cover all this stuff. So obviously the semifinals started today,
They
and
did.
I teased it but didn't really talk about it. But so I'll just let you take over. How big of an upset is this? Or how shocked are you? I know you picked them from the beginning.
I
Most people
did.
picked them,
I
and
did.
I didn't see it. I'll be honest. I kind of forgot it was on. But so just go ahead and break it down for us.
Well, I think if anybody should go into Lee Ice's freezer, it would be France. They should definitely go into the freezer today. I'd say they were my favorite. They should have won it. But I will say this: if anybody was going to beat them, it was going to be Spain. You basically had superstars going up against a system, and Spain is notorious for playing this kind of system. This they call it tiki-taki football, where they just kind of pass the ball around and pass you to death, and that's basically what they did today. They kept possession the whole game, and they just passed and passed and passed, and France couldn't get the ball off of them. I think they had one shot until somewhere in the second half, and they finally get a second shot on goal. And it was just one of those things. I think that they just played their system. They played a real team game today as opposed to superstars, and the team kind of came out over top of the superstars.
All right, so we got one of our fellow our hockey expert felt
Sure.
like France was just never in the match. So, what did you see? Did you see any like nerves or anything, or just they started off slow, or just
I wouldn't say it was nerves as much as like I said. I mean, it's just they both came into it with their style. I think that you had probably the most attacking or threatening, like the most offensive team in the tournament in France, and they just got shut down by a team that played a total team game. And just held the ball, and just they were quicker to the ball every time. They won the 50-50s for challenges on the field. And like I said, I mean, it just the first goal was a penalty, and they came into the box, and it was the defender kind of swung his leg, and the player came into it. He swung and hit him, and they gave him a penalty. And the second goal was just they passed it. It was a really nice goal, and France just didn't do it. And today, Dembele and Mbappe and Olise and all those guys that have been doing it all the whole tournament didn't do it. And I'll say this: I think that they've played 7 games so far, and Spain has let in 1 goal. So that kind of tells you the kind of way that they play, and they shut them down, and it just basically was offense against defense, and defense won today.
all right? So before we get to tomorrow's game, which will set up the finals,
Yep.
anything you want to touch on that happened throughout the week? Anything surprise you? I don't think it was 1 versus 2 versus 3 versus 4, right? So I think
Yeah, I
everything
mean,
kind of
really,
went.
at the end of the day, you had 48 teams, and the top 4, ranked teams are in the final or were in the final. So I mean, it's nothing really shocking. I mean, it's been a great tournament. My only gripe is ticket prices. We could go into that, and that we could talk about that forever. But as far as the tournament goes, it's been a great tournament. I think 9 out of the 10 African teams made it into the round of 32, which is amazing for African football. There was a lot of great stories, and even with all my gripes about ticket prices, overall the tournament's great. Norway was a lot of fun to watch, and the fan bases have been great, and the everything on social media has been really good. And the today's final, although if you're a neutral or a person that doesn't watch the game, you could have been like, wow, this is really really boring. It was actually tactically it was a very good game for Spain. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get a little more offense, and we'll see what happens. But we'll talk about that, in a second.
Right. So tomorrow we got England versus Argentina. We mentioned it earlier, and Leroy had said it's obvious what the networks in America anyway who they want to win.
Yes.
They obviously want Argentina in it, but
Yeah.
so just go ahead, give us your preview, break it down, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy out there about FIFA and Messi and all that kind of stuff. I don't really buy into that stuff too much. I always say to people, conspiracies are great if there's 1 or 2 people involved. When you have all these people involved, I don't really buy into it because somebody would at some point would come out and kind of rat on everybody else. So I don't buy into the conspiracy part of it. But I will say this: tomorrow is going to be interesting to watch because Messi, although in the beginning I think I said early on when we were doing this that Messi they leaned on Messi the last World Cup when they won it, but they had a much better team this time around. And that team has not shown up until probably the last game. And Messi's kind of carried this team. So you're going to have a situation where Messi's going to have to I think he's going to have to show up tomorrow again. And to be honest with you, Argentina really hasn't been challenged, and they haven't really played any really strong teams to this point. So I think this is the first time they're really going to be kind of challenged and really going to be tested. and I think England's a very tough team. So there's a very likely possibility that England beats them tomorrow.
All right. So obviously that's not what FIFA would want, but that's why they
Would
play the
that be
game.
considered an upset?
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, they're ranked high because they won the last World Cup, but player for player, I'm not sure if Argentina is better than England. They're both two very, very good teams. So to me, I think it could go either way. I really do. I think that the stars are going to show up tomorrow, and it's either going to be it's going to be Messi for Argentina, or it's going to be Bellingham or Kane for England. And I think one of those people, like the last game, England did not play well against Mexico, but Bellingham won that game for them. He really did. And I think that that's what's going to happen tomorrow. I think either Messi's going to win the game, or Bellingham or Kane is going to win for England.
All right, so we have two possible matchups for the finale, or has it got a special name? The final, is that what?
No, it's just the World Cup final. It's a little confusing because when they say World Cup finals, they always refer to the whole tournament as a final, and it's a little confusing. But they have the final. There will be a third place game on Saturday, so the two teams will play against each other on Saturday. The two teams that lost today and tomorrow, and then the winners will play on Sunday for the final.
All right, so we got two potential matchups. So just go ahead and preview both. Spain versus England and Spain versus Argentina. Which one do you think we'll see, and then which teams have the better,
If I had to guess, and obviously my France pick kind of bombed out on me a little bit, but if I had to guess,
everybody, they were.
Yeah, I have a strong feeling that I think England's going to win.
Okay.
And I just think that Argentina, like I said, hasn't really played anybody. They struggled against the teams they did, Egypt's, the Cape Verdes, to some of those teams that they kind of won in the end of the games. I just think that England's going to be too strong for them. So if I had to guess, I'm saying it's probably England and Spain, and I think that England's not as good as France, and I think that Spain does exactly what they did to France today and shuts them down, and it just passes them to death like they did with France. And I think that they, through possession and just winning 50-50s, and they're so strong technically, Spain. It's just their system, and all their men's teams, women's teams, their youth teams, they've done it for years. And it's just how they play football. And I think that they will pass them to death just like they did with France. So I just think overall, I think Spain's probably going to win the whole thing. Now, if it was Argentina-Spain, that could be interesting because I think their styles are closer together. But I just think that Spain's too strong for either one of those teams, to be honest with you.
All right. So any final, and Leroy, if you got anything, go ahead. And then any final thoughts on the whole thing as a whole, and then what are you looking forward to 4 years from now?
So 4 years from now is going to be really interesting. 4 years from now, it's going to be on 3 different continents, the tournament. So it's the first time that will ever happen. There's already talk. There was talk that it was supposed to go to 64 teams, and that was supposed to happen in, was it 2038? But now they're talking about possibly doing it in the next one because FIFA made so much money off of this next one. So and a lot of people talk about the tournament being watered down and how it ruins the game and everything else. But I can tell you, I got to watch the Haiti matches with some of my employees that work for me who are Haitian, and it was an amazing experience. So overall, I disagree. I think it's great for the game, and I think it's great for these countries to get in. So I'm actually excited the idea of going to 64 teams. Although it is going to be crazy, it's going to be a lot of games on each day. But I look forward to it. And then as far as the U.S. goes, I think that, a lot of people are really talking a lot about, how everything that happened with the U.S. and feeling very disappointed. I think long-term we'll look back at the U.S. and what they did in the first round and, getting through the round of 32 and everything that happened. I think it'll be a much more positive thing eventually. I think right now everybody's very negative about it. And I'm not as negative as a lot of people. A lot of people say, our team's aging out and they're getting older and they blah, blah, blah. I don't agree. I think that the things that have been happening over this country, although I've said before, it's a long-term thing that, U.S. soccer getting better. I think we are getting better. And every 4 years, I think we're a little bit better than we were before. And I'm excited about the future of U.S. soccer. So I look forward to it. As it's another 4 years. And, like I said, I always laugh this will go off a lot of people's radar, for the next 4 years. And then I'll come back and we'll talk about it again. And, we'll do this all again. So I'm excited.
All right. You got anything, Leroy?
No, I mean, you said the U.S., as far as soccer, how much better are they today than they were, say, 15, 20 years ago? I mean,
So are you saying
It doesn't show.
the
It doesn't
national
show.
team? Do you mean the national team, or do you mean the sport in the country?
The national team.
So the national, I mean, so here's the thing, honestly, people said this is the easiest group we ever had. It might have been, but I think this is the most exciting we've played in the first round, like the way we dominated this first couple games. And I've said it before, but I think that Turkey match, we would have dominated that team as well if we had not made all the changes we had. I think that some things happened, like Pulisic got hurt. He's a main part of our team. I just think that overall, I'm excited for the team. I think we are better. And I think every year we get a little bit better. There's things going on in this country with youth soccer and some of the academies and some of the pro leagues and how things are done differently. And we have academies now where, they're sending people overseas, and the academies make money when they sell players on. That's changed. And then, that used to be pay to play even to get into academies. And now the academies are basically pay for the players to come in. So the development's faster and it's better. And we have more kids going to Europe, and we have more people playing at the highest levels across the world, and really high, teams and different leagues. So I think that the team's better. And people are frustrated right now. I get it, but I think overall, I think the future of the team, and I think the future of the sport in this country is good. It's moving in the right direction.
Yes, Marcus said these European teams have been playing soccer for generations. The Belgium game showed that. Yeah, I think
100%. And then that's the thing people need to remember. Like, you're talking about. So my team that I follow in club football is a team called Fulham in London. They've been around for over 100 years. That's a club team. Like, these countries, some of these countries have been playing this game for 100 years. Has been the focus, and it's the most dominant sport in their country. So, you have to accept the fact that although we're making good strides, and we're going to, it takes time. We're not going to be England. We're not going to be Brazil. We're not going to be Spain now. But like I said, every 4 years, it's a little bit better. And I've been following this sport for a long time. And I can tell you from watching the players and we are much better than we've ever been before. But no, yeah, we're right. We're not, our starting 11 may be competitive with Belgium, but our bench guys are not good enough yet. But we're getting there. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take time. We have to have the guys coming off the bench have to be fighting for those first 11 spots. And that'll happen eventually. It will. It just takes time.
All right. So thank you for coming on.
All right, Reed.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. We'll probably have you on next week to kind of wrap the whole thing up. And then,
sure.
And then we won't talk to you for 4 more years.
I'm used to it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. All right. So real quick, real quick before we go to break, I'm going to do something real quick. So obviously most people watching this watch the other shows on the network. Matty Ice was commenting. He's been on our show many times. Showtime Sarah was commenting for the first time today, and maybe there was a reason for that. So they got a big show coming up next week. Drive Time does. So
Yes.
it's going to be called Behind the Whistles. The Summit Behind the Whistles, and it is a big, huge show that he's putting on together with another show that's on the network. This rating is so small. Pretenders and Contenders. So they're going to combine for one big show. It's going to be next Monday at 6 p.m. And what they're going to do is that they're going to have a panel of 4 coaches and officials, and they're going to have a big, long discussion of how to improve relationships between coaches and officials. They're going to discuss parental behavior at youth games. So that should be interesting to talk about. And then the declining numbers of officials in sports. So that's a fascinating topic that I don't think's really been covered, or maybe people don't want to talk about it on major. We're major, but major sports broadcasting channels and stuff. So
we're gonna talk about it on here, y'all.
We're gonna talk about it on here. It's very fascinating. So we want everybody to tune in. Yeah, no problem. We want everybody to tune in, check it out. We're gonna check it out. We'll be watching. It's fascinating. I have a family member that has been a referee his whole life, as a side thing. Never got quite to that level, but has always done it. And we've called him before and asked him questions on stuff, and he calls and he goes, "No, that's the right call," stuff like that. So, referees get a bad rap. It's one of the most, unappreciated things you can do in the world, especially in the sports world. So I'm looking forward to it. They've been really putting a lot of effort into this and planning it for a while. and it's finally coming up. So next Monday, 6 p.m. right here on the Sideline Junkies Network. So wherever you find us, same place. Don't have to go anywhere special. You're gonna get a one giant packed show. So I'm assuming since we're combining one show, it's probably gonna be like a 2.5 hour special show. If it's not, sorry that I'm jumping the gun there, but so expect that. Everybody tune in next Monday for that. Next Monday for that. All right. So when we come back, we are going to do more football talk. We're going to cover the linebackers, and then I want to try to get the other thing in too, just because I know it pissed you off and pissed my dad off too. So we'll try to get to that too, and we'll be right
Okay.
back.
All right.
Yep.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, that's the most like a transition instead of a commercial.
All right.
All right, so Anthony, if you're still here, feel free to chime back in. I will go ahead and just cover some of the messages that you said about what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about. So this is very similar list to the basketball list that we've been doing, and those have gone over really well. I thought on the show we've gotten good feedback by them, and we've gotten good responses on social media for some of the takes too. So I thought it would be a good idea to do some of these for football as we head into the football season. And this one I wanted to do first is because I have this discussion argument over with my dad all the time because he does not like his number one, Lawrence Taylor. That's his LeBron James. He thinks he's overrated. He thinks he's not the number one linebacker of all time. He thinks he's not the best defensive player of all time, and he's got all his reasons why. And if he's in there, he can comment. He believes Dick Butkus should be number one with a bullet, and you shouldn't even be able to argue it. So we can get into that a little bit. Now
Damn,
you
Harry, damn, Harry, I gotta disagree with you, bro. I mean, number one is definitely Lawrence Taylor. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And probably the greatest, to me, the greatest defensive player ever. Definitely the greatest defensive player I ever seen. I mean, he single-handedly made Joe Gibbs go to the one-back offense. You know, he had to put tight end to put Clint Didier to chip him. Man, Lawrence on this number one is the only one they got right on here. And linebacker, this is so hard to rank because, you know, to me, if you could do everything, if you could stop the run, you could pass rush, you can cover, then, you know, that's how I rank them. So that's why I say Raven fans, you know, they're going to be mad at me, but I don't give a shit. Ray Lewis should not be number two. Ray Lewis couldn't cover nobody. Ray Lewis was a great pass rusher. And Ray Lewis was garbage without good nose tackles. If you remember it, when they won their first Super Bowl, he had Tony Siragusa. When Goose retired, I can't think of the other guy. When them both big boys retired, Ray Lewis wasn't shit. Ray Lewis had like 2 or 3 years where he wasn't nothing until what's his name? Halati Noda came, and then Ray Lewis got back into being Ray Lewis. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from Ray. I'm not taking nothing away from him, and I'm not saying he's overrated. Well, I think he's a little overrated because if he doesn't have two big monsters in front of him, Ray couldn't do nothing.
Matty Ice disagrees and thinks Ray Lewis should be number two. So real quick, let me just go back to because this is my dad's thing with Lawrence Taylor. And then I counter it with something, and he doesn't really have a response to it, but that's fine. I'm not trying to put him on the spot. But his thing is that Lawrence Taylor didn't get in the huddle, didn't get in the stance. He was able to stand straight up, and then he was able to get around everybody. And that's fine. I know he did do that. But anyone, can do that, right? Any player can do that, but
Oh
nobody's
yeah,
been able to.
yeah.
Yeah, but nobody's been able to do it like he has for whatever reason. So to me, you can't really take that away from him. If any linebacker can line up the way he did, but not perform it the way he has, then that's I don't know.
That makes him
That's
even better.
to me
That
it
makes him
does.
even
Yeah.
better. I mean, and they moved him around. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was Lawrence Taylor. Any old school NFC East fan, with I don't whether you admit it or not, Lawrence Taylor struck fear in you. If he was playing you, your team, and your quarterback, you were scared for your quarterback. You were scared. I seen him hit Joe Theismann. Of course, he ended his career.
Yeah.
I seen him hit Jay Schrader. I seen him hit Doug. I seen him hit Mark Rippon. I seen him destroy our quarterbacks. When you saw 56 on the other side, you were scared.
And then we got Matty Ice LT1 Butkus 2. So yeah, so that's my dad has Butkus 1, and he was excited with you keep talking about how Dr. J didn't have any help because that's his argument for Butkus. He always goes on how let me pull the picture back up. Almost everyone in the top 10 you can list other great or Hall of Fame players that he played with. Dick Butkus didn't play with anyone.
I'm glad Harry said that. Where were the Giants before Lawrence Taylor got there? Where were the Giants before Lawrence Taylor got there? It wasn't like he had a great ass offense, you know. Lawrence, especially in '86, Lawrence Taylor carried that team to the Super Bowl. I think he's the last defensive player to win MVP.
And then Midnight Rider said, I think Sam Adams was the other defensive tackle, and I think that's what he was drinking.
Yeah, Goose and Adams. And when they both left, Ray Lewis, he wasn't nothing. I'm not saying he wasn't nothing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And he even said it himself. You know, side to side, okay, Ray, yes. But if he don't have the two big monsters in front of him, no. I mean, I think Jack Lambert was better than Ray Lewis. I think Derek Brooks was definitely better than Ray Lewis. I like linebackers who can do it all. They can stop the run, they can rush the passer, and they can cover. Ray he couldn't do it all. He damn sure couldn't cover, you know. And it's a linebacker that's not on here that should be on here, to me, is Wilbur Marshall. Wilbur Marshall, that man struck fear into people too. He did it with 2 teams. I actually did it with 3. His career with the Oilers is very underrated, but he was made to play. He was asked to play one way in Chicago. He came to DC and he was asked to cover. Richie Pettibone said, "No, I need you to cover the tight end," and he did that. You know, he made Pro Bowls both. So to me, you got to be able to do it all. Ray couldn't do it all. So, I mean,
All right.
Of course, he's the most popular. He's going to be the most popular with the dancing and all that, the speeches and all that crazy shit. So.
Especially around this area and the murders. And anyway. So Matty Ice said, remember sacks weren't sacks for how long? That's true. Like, you know, and this kind of goes back to what Anthony was saying earlier. You know, when we do these kind of lists, it's hard to compare eras,
Right.
and that's true. It is. I don't deny
if they
that.
want to say greatest middle linebacker, then he's definitely in the conversation. But he might not even win that because, like Harry said, Buckus probably got the nod over him over there.
So these GOAT lists to me are pointless because the linebacker position in the 50s, 60s, and 70s was played differently, where they did, and that's the same thing with quarterbacks too. You know, people that think Tom Brady isn't, or think Joe Montana is, whatever. One of the reasons is because Montana could get hit, Brady was protected, and on and on and on. And I get all that, but it makes for good content. We all love talking and arguing about it, so that's why we do it. That's what men do. We argue about stuff for an hour that doesn't mean anything. We get people to watch, and
I mean, Anthony, you're a Dolphins fan. You had Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was a good linebacker. You know,
was there a Dolphin?
No, he's not on there.
And then so my mom said, and I don't think he's top 10, but where do you think? What about London Fletcher? Oh, you don't like London. That's right. We talked about. That's right. I remember we've talked about this before.
And people want to compare him to Ray Lewis, man. And I just talk bad about Ray Lewis, but he's way better than London Fletcher. London Fletcher got a lot of tackles on a lot of sorry teams. So, I mean, can you remember any great London Fletcher highlights?
Not to be a jerk, but they would always show him his in huddle like getting him riled up and stuff. Like that's what I remember, man.
London Fletcher was a very good player, and people say I don't think he's a Hall of Fame. So, and I'm a diehard Redskin, Commanders, whatever fan, but London Fletcher didn't do it for me. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
No. What's that say in the middle?
I didn't say that. Edit that shit out.
Of a live broadcast? Okay.
Edit that shit out. But I respect London Fletcher. Respect London Fletcher. But Harry, if you're listening, Harry, Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player of all time. Definitely the greatest linebacker of all time.
All right. So anybody else? You got three Chiefs. Anybody else you want to cover, or you want to get to the?
I got two that probably would have been on there. One, if it weren't for drugs, Thomas Hollywood Henderson. That man was crazy. And Brian Bosworth. If Brian Bosworth don't get hurt, he makes that list. The Boz. What y'all know about the Boz?
He got ran over by Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Everybody saw
that. All right. So Anthony said, I would disagree with you. Ice, to me, the greatest defensive player is Reggie White. I was going to say it's usually either when people have a discussion for defensive player, it's usually White or Taylor. That's usually what it is. So.
Yeah. But Reggie White couldn't cover a tight end. Couldn't cover a running back out the field.
And he don't have more sacks than Bruce Smith. Oh. All right. So
all due respect to Reds, the minister.
All right, so let's kind of shift a little bit, and these are always fascinating, because these circle around all the time all over the internet. But this one's a little wild, and obviously there's going to be bias, here. Everybody that watches us, most of us that do shows on here or watch us, we're very local, very Maryland, DC, Baltimore oriented. Not everyone, but a lot of us. So, and obviously, DC fans, they hate Dallas. At first, when I started looking at this, I was like, well, this seems all right. And then I realized about the offensive line. So if you just want to go right to the offensive line, go ahead.
I have the team is fucking Cowboys.
Right. So let's just do it like this then. Okay. Hold on. Before we get to the offensive line, running back, though, you agree with, right? There's not a better running back in it. So real quick, this is the all-time NFC East offense. Just right. NFC East. So you agree Emmitt Smith is the best running back. No, you think Tony Dorsett. Okay. But it's still a Cowboy.
I got Tony Dorsett.
Okay.
I get it. Emmitt's their all-time leading rusher. I say it all the time. Emmitt Smith and LeBron James are the same. Just because they're the all-time leading don't mean they were the best. So I got Tony. I'm putting Tony Dorsett back there.
All right. So receivers, Michael Irvin, Art Monk, and I can't even see his name. Okay. Do you agree with those three?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that with Drew Pearson coming off the bench.
All right. And I'm assuming you agree with Staubach over Aikman.
Staubach over Aikman, but Aikman's not second.
You think Theismann is?
Yes.
Okay. And then again, that's debatable and that's arguable, but that's fine. Mm-hmm. All right. So far you got Dorsett over Emmitt. Again, you could argue that if you want. And then tight end, I don't know, that's a little difficult for me. So
yes, tight end. I hate Jason Witt. He's so slow. But I'm trying to think, man. Dallas had a guy named Billy Joe Dupree, and they had what was the guy in the 90s? Oh, can't think of his name.
Hold on.
Tight end is right. I guess tight end is Dallas had the better tight ends. Some might say Jackie Smith, but Jackie Smith for the Cardinals, he wasn't part of the great NFC East during the 80s and 90s. So, no, Mark Bavaro for the Giants. I'm going Mark Bavaro. Yeah.
All right, so Anthony said he wouldn't put Michael Irvin on the other side of Monk. Who wouldn't you have? I mean, I know that you don't like Michael Irvin. I know my dad hates Michael Irvin, but he's clearly top three
Michael
receiver.
Irvin's a beast. He
Yeah.
was a beast.
So Dad said Jay Novacek.
Jay Novacek. Way to go, Harry.
All right, so now let's talk about why we're doing this, and then Mama Sweeney and all capital letters, no hogs, ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Where is Russ Grimm? Where is Joe Jacoby? But who's the center?
Kelsey.
My center got 3 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 3 Super Bowls. Not one hog on there is ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
So obviously, Grimm and Jacoby are the 2 big ones, even though Jacoby's not in the Hall of Fame, but I know a lot of, especially Redskins fans, believe he should be.
I mean, I agree with Larry Allen. Tyron Smith, no. His team ain't win. He ain't part of nothing. He ain't part of nothing that won. You got to be part of something that wins, man.
Also, with the Hogs, they are the reason that the quarterback performance was what it was. I mean, and you can't really debate that.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 different quarterbacks that will never, ever go to the Hall of Fame.
I know some people might want to argue Theismann, and maybe if he wouldn't have got his leg hurt, maybe he would have been. But the other 2, obviously, Rippon and Doug Williams.
And the running back, I mean, yeah, Emmett, I get Emmett. I put him second just out of respect. But he's not more popular than John Riggins.
Oh, that's right, John Riggins. Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's right.
Emmett don't have the greatest playoff run for a running back in NFL history. That's John Riggins.
A highlight that's still shown on a regular basis to this day.
All the damn time.
Yeah.
Been showing it for 40 plus years now.
So maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I can't do it. Maybe I'm missing something here, or maybe Michael Irvin is Anthony's LeBron James, because he says, please explain to me why Michael Irvin is on the greatest of all time list for the NFC East, because he doesn't have the test to justify being a Hall of Famer. He's just in there because of Dallas. Yeah, what am I missing here?
Anthony, go look at Michael Irvin's stats. Go look at his stats. And you got to say he's not a Hall of Famer? Look at the time he played. He wasn't, let's see, it was Jerry Rice and it was Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I didn't think it was much a debate on him. Again, I mean, I just remember as I was a bit of, a kid going into a teenager, when I say my dad hates Michael Irvin, well, the reason is because he would light the Redskins up all the time.
Yeah, because Darryl Green couldn't check him.
I say Darryl Green is my dad's all-time favorite Redskins player, and I would tell this story all the time. I might have told it on here. I'd be upstairs in my room playing video games while he would be watching football, and I'd hear from downstairs him screaming, Darryl, either catch a guy or get a guy to make a play. And I know Darryl struggled against Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin pushed off and told you would tell you he's going to push off. There's nothing you can do about it. He had the strength. He didn't have great speed, but he was fast, if that makes any sense.
All right, so
Mark May, Jim Lachey.
Jim Lachey,
yeah. Jim Lachey would have been better. Jim Lachey probably would have been Hall of Fame if injuries didn't mess him up either. But yeah, Jeff Bostic got to be the center. Man has 3 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowls.
So like I said, when I was at first looking at this, I was like, well, this seems all right. But then I remember about the offensive line.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on.
So there's one commander and there's no Giants. Now, obviously on defense, we would see Lawrence Taylor, but
yeah, I would put Mark Bavaro at tight end. Yeah, Phil Simms wasn't better than definitely wasn't better than Starback and Theismann and Aikman. Might not have been better than Ron Jaworski. But he got the 2 Super Bowls though, you know.
All right, so Anthony said, I'm saying he's overhyped because he's on Dallas. Well, I don't necessarily. I mean, every player is overhyped when they're on Dallas. Tony Romo is a household name, and he's got one more playoff win than I do. Um, and he did win one, right? He finally did win one, didn't he? Because I remember that was the big knock on
Yeah,
him.
he won one.
Okay. And other receivers get overlooked. That should be on this team, like you said. Drew Pearson should be over. He's a playmaker. I think we found Anthony's
Did you
LeBron
just say
James.
a playmaker? Do you know what Michael Irvin's nickname is? It's the playmaker.
Like we all hate Dallas, and like we all hate.
Well, I
like,
mean, we all hate Dallas, but come on, man, we got to give that man his due.
Tom Brady beat the shit out of the Bills for 20 years. The Bills beat Tom Brady 3 times. Josh Allen himself is 0-2 against Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady left the division when Josh Allen's coming to his own. Coincidence? I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and go like, Tom Brady's only great because he's, Tom Brady's, if not the best, one of the best of all time. I always thought Michael Irvin is considered would be, is he what, top 10 receiver of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. People with Michael Irvin led the league in yardage one year, I think, which is great because, like I say, he's not speed. He wasn't beating you downfield a lot, but yeah, Michael Irvin. It was Jerry Rice, and then it was him, and he got the hardware to show it. And he's, people look at Michael Irvin, and they see the mouth,
Yeah.
They see it and they definitely hear it.
And he's still doing
Michael
it.
Irvin was that dude. Michael Irvin, trust me. I
Didn't
like him at the U.
Who was his? I remember watching when NFL Network used to do them top 10s, and they had one of the top 10 worst free agents, or was it free agents?
Mm-hmm.
Who was Michael Irvin's number 2 for a while, and then he got a big massive contract. Alvin Harper. That's it. Yeah, that just showed Michael Irvin was so good. It made
and like I always tell people about Gary Clark, people get on me because they said Gary Clark should be in the Hall of Fame. Say, yeah, ask Alvin Harper. Once you leave that Hall of Fame that played with you for years on the other side, and you get in the double team, life is so much different then, buddy.
To a lesser
that shit out.
To a way lesser extent, but it still happened. This player was a guy for Buffalo named Peerless Price. He was number 2 to Eric Moulds, and I think it was Atlanta gave him a pretty big contract, and he did nothing.
Did nothing.
Did nothing. Yeah.
The number 2 receivers, they number 1 until they go out there. They get the money, but they don't get the production. They never get the production. You never see a number 2 leave a team, go be number 1 on another team.
All right, so I see those floating around all the time. I'll have to pull up. My offense one because, for Buffalo's or the East itself. I mean, there's a lot of especially quarterbacks. Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Josh Allen, but Tom Brady overtakes it. So then you can't, But from there, you got running backs. You got O.J. Simpson, you got Thurman Thomas, and then you got other guys too. So I've seen different ones on the East for Buffalo's East. I think it's a little more varied. So obviously you would want some hogs on there. What giant should be on here, or there shouldn't be a giant on here?
I think Mark Bavaro should be on there. I think he's better. I mean, he doesn't have the numbers that Jason Witten gets.
Yes, my dad said Witten's stats better than
yeah.
Midnight Rider said, "Oh no, I'm not Midnight Rider." Jimmy J said Gary Clark has some great catches, but he also has some great drops. Yeah, that was.
Monday night against the Giants. I mean, you don't understand how many people I get into about Gary Clark.
I know about Michael Irvin because he's a Hurricane fan. All right, so everybody's got that one guy. Just don't like him. We found out today my dad's is Lawrence Taylor, Anthony's is Michael Irvin, yours is LeBron James.
I can't believe Harry thinks.
We've had that. discussion argument. Like again, like we've had the Michael Jordan GOAT before, even before like LeBron could make an argument or people believe LeBron could be the GOAT. We've had that argument with Michael Jordan for years. And his is a little biased because it's Larry Bird. He has a specific player that he believes is better. But when it comes to Lawrence Taylor, he doesn't have a favorite linebacker or a favorite player. And I don't necessarily believe it's because Lawrence Taylor would beat up the Commander or the Redskins. But now his bias towards Deion Sanders, I think that's similar because you have Darryl Green and all that. So, but I don't know what it is about Lawrence Taylor besides the lining up thing. But like I said, any player can line up the way he does. Nobody's been able to pull it off the way he has, and there has to be a reason for that.
And they put him all over the field.
And other teams tried it with other players. They did.
It don't work.
Right.
It doesn't work. Who do they? The Skins tried it with. Who was that guy? They tried it with some. Oh man, I can see it. It just not. It don't work, man. It doesn't work. Did they try it with LeVar Arrington?
Maybe.
I don't know. Trust Lawrence Taylor. People been trying to find the next Lawrence Taylor for 40 years. Okay. They've been trying to find. They can find variations of him. Yeah. He gave everybody fits. Everybody. The only thing that stopped him was injuries and drug suspensions. That's the only thing. That's the only way you can stop LT. Like I say, the last defensive player to win MVP. Think about that. The man was the most valuable player of the league. That's how bad he was. And I don't care if you were a Skins fan, an Eagles fan, an old St. Louis Cardinals fan, you feared that dude because he was going to tear your quarterback up. He's going to tear you up, buddy.
All right, let's go ahead and leave with this. I'm waiting for Marlene, but it looks like maybe she's not watching today. Are there? I'm assuming he meant corner. Are there cornerbacks you would have as starters over prime time on your defense? So just real quick, Leroy, would you have Deion Sanders as your number one corner, or would it be Darryl Green or Champ Bailey or some of the other ones?
It's Deion and then Darryl. I tell people this. Darryl Green was the first cornerback to travel. So what I mean by travel was whoever your best receiver was, he was traveling. Yeah. There she is, everybody. We can close the show now. The beautiful Marlene from Cali has checked in. So that means it's time to close the show.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you for Brian with the Y coming on. Breaking down the World Cup. And Harry, I don't know what it is. I got to sit down and talk to you about LT, buddy. Because that man was bad. So, and we definitely got to get back on these quarterback rankings.
But yeah, we'll do more of that. Yeah.
And we got to bring the Midnight Rider on. We got to bring highly opinionated Josh, the big guy Cage, whoever wants to come on, Matty Ice. Yeah, that quarterback one is ridiculous.
And then we'll cover more NFL Top 100 as names pop up that are either surprising.
Names pop up.
Yeah.
So it's time to go.
Yep.
You know how we leave you. Whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it. It's the best thing going. You just watch Unapologetic Sports on the Sideline Junkie Podcast Network. For the Fly Guy, I'm your favorite Unc Lee Ice. We see you next week.
Whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today.